Turn it up, swashbucklers! You're listening to Under the Crossbones, episode number 52. I'm your host, Phil Johnson. Thank you for tuning in once again. Always appreciate it when you do. And it's going to be a good show today. My guest, Javier Dominguez of Big Hat Pirates. And it's about hats, but here's the thing. Look, it's good stuff. I ran into Javier and his hats at the NorCal Pirate Festival. Super cool, amazing, custom, out-of-the-box kind of hats. And you're really going to dig it. And one of the things I really like about his approach to it is that he wants really cool. He likes authentic. He also likes whatever people want. If you want a hat that's got Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles on it, he will make you that hat. You want mermaids, you want peacocks, whatever you want, he's cool with that. And even to the point of letting other people remix his hats. It's very cool. You're really going to, I love his approach to creativity. You're going to love this interview. It's very cool. Thank you. I dropped into, you're like, why did he say thank you? What's he thanking us for? I'm going to tell you. Dropped in to check out the iTunes reviews just before I hit record on this, and got some new ones. Thank you to Psycho Sexy69, who I hope is a female. Chose another nickname 43, which I can't believe 42 other people use that nickname. And Crossbones fan. So we got some new reviews, nice 5-star reviews. Thank you to all three of you for popping in and putting those in there. Much appreciated. So much going on, you guys. Oh my gosh, too many. I'm just back from Fresno, California. Spent 3 nights in Fresno doing gigs there. And Thursday night, great crowd, full house, nice. Friday and Saturday night, Olympics bit into what we were doing. Yeah, the Olympics, everybody wants to see that. And so we had smaller crowds at Mother Mary's in Fresno. Either way, the crowds were fun. I got to go up and do my thing, work out a bunch of new material, spend a few hours on stage. That is always helpful, and the gigs were really, really fun. Are you watching the Olympics? We were watching some of the Olympics. I missed the opening ceremonies. They're on the DVR. I got to check it out. But it's nice because you can fast forward through the 8 billion commercials that NBC added into them. But yeah, we're kind of an Olympics house. My girlfriend loves it. She's been working really hard for the last couple weeks to clear off our DVR so that she can tape all our Olympic stuff and get that in there. But here we're watching men's beach volleyball yesterday. Very fun. I would like to say one thing to the sports commentators, the guys that talk and tell you what's going on. I would like to say to them, shut up. Please shut up. Just please shut up. We don't need to know everything. They're like, oh, that guy's not wearing a hat today. That's shocking. He started going bald at the age of 21 due to alopecia and was completely bald by the age of 23. Guess what? I don't need to know that. I don't need to know when the dude went bald. He's a volleyball player. Yeah, his head looks like the ball. We don't need to know when that happened. I give them permission to shut up because they talk too much. It's ridiculous. But we'll be watching the Olympics, some swimming and some gymnastics, and it's all good. And I'll tell you, I'm not a sports guy. Don't like football. Don't like baseball. Why? They're overpaid. Olympic people, they're not overpaid. They're scraping, man. They're doing it for the love of the game, and that's the part I dig about it. Because oftentimes, we're all doing it for the love of the game, right? I'm not getting rich doing a pirate podcast. Love of the game. I mean, you can change that. You could throw some money in the donation box and that would change quickly. We'll talk about that later. Anyway, yeah, I did get some bad news over the weekend. Bad news for me, not bad news for you. Now, broke my guitar, and you're like, okay, yeah, you're a guitar player, Phil. You probably have more than one guitar. You're right. I have like 8 or 9 guitars, but they're not all appropriate for the shows that I do most of the time. This was my main guitar. This was my show guitar. And yes, I've got a few electric guitars that I play with my band, but they don't work for solo. I've got a couple of basses, some banjo, mandolin. Those aren't going to work for the show. And I have a couple of beater acoustic guitars. They're actually sitting right here in front of me within eyeshot in my office here. But they're also not appropriate for performance use because they are beater guitars, which means they're not in fantastic shape. I just use them for beating on around the house. And so my main guitar, my main show guitar is broken. And here's what happened. I was carrying it in a padded case because I use the hard flight case if I'm flying, but this was a driving gig, so I just had it in my padded case. And the case slipped out of my hand and hit the ground, and I heard thunk. That's a bad noise. Not a good noise with a guitar, right? And unfortunately, the edge that it landed on was the same edge that it landed on when this happened 3 or 4 years ago. And it already had a crack in the wood that I had taken into a shop, and they braced it so that it wouldn't crack anymore. And that cost me $150 just to have the brace put in. They said, we can't fix the finish. I said, it's fine. I don't mind battle scars. But anyway, it hit that same area. And not only did it crack the old crack, it extended that crack. So it goes nearly from the edge of the body of the guitar where it even cracked the binding all the way up to the pick guard. And the wood is separated, and the guitar is going to be unusable very soon. I managed to get through my last couple of shows with it and keep it in tune and all that kind of stuff, but they're very delicate instruments when it comes to that kind of thing. And so it's not going to stay in tune no matter how much I tune it very much longer. So I have to go guitar shopping today, which is fun, like guitar shopping, even when I'm not buying a guitar. But the bad part is that I have to drop $1,000 on a guitar, which I don't like spending money. I'm not that kind of person. I like saving money. I like earning money. Not a big fan of spending money. So I have to go and buy a new guitar. Now, the guitar that I was playing was a $300 Greg Bennett guitar, and they're fantastic. I love the Greg Bennett guitar. That's why I've been playing it for the last several years. And the problem is there's not a lot of places around here that sell them, and they don't sell them directly through their website. They're actually a very hard to find guitar, despite that they're a really nice, cool guitar. So I probably will not be able to find one of those around here. I would love to if I could. I'm going to check it out, but I would probably end up getting Taylor, Martin, Epiphone, Gibson, something like that. And if I go that route, I'm going to end up spending $800,000 at least. So that's happening today. As soon as I finish recording this, I'm going guitar shopping to spend a lot of money. If you want to help me with that, which would be awesome of you, there is the donation box on underthecrossbones.com. You can pop a little donation in there. Or if you want something in exchange besides the podcast that I do for you every week, if you want to check out some of my albums, DVDs, T-shirts, that kind of stuff, go to philjohnsоncomedy.com and get yourself something from the store there, and that will help me go pay for a new guitar today, which would be very awesome of you. Yes, it would. Let's talk some business. You know what? I'm going to see Guns N' Roses Tuesday night, which is today. If you're listening to this the day it comes out, going to see Guns N' Roses at AT&T Park in San Francisco, big baseball stadium. And I somehow missed Guns N' Roses in the heyday. I don't know why. Appetite for Destruction is forever on my Desert Island album list. Like, I still listen to that album regularly. It's still amazing. It sounds timeless. It's fantastic. So I am going to see Guns N' Roses, and I'm very excited. I got nosebleed seats because they were reasonably priced, so I will not be close to the stage, but my friend Lindy and I are going to go, and we're going to chug up the stairs at AT&T Stadium and check out the show, and it's very cool. I wish Gilby Clarke was playing in the band. I think that's a bummer. If Izzy didn't want to do it, Gilby should be there because Gilby is one of the nicest dudes in the world. My band opened for him years ago, right after he got kicked out of Guns N' Roses, like literally like a month after he got kicked out of Guns N' Roses. He took his solo band out, and we were one of the opening acts on the show. And super dude, nicest guy in the world, great musician. Love Gilby Clarke, but he won't be there. Slash is there, which is good. Slash, also a super nice dude. Got to hang out with him one night after a show, one of his shows, and he wouldn't remember me for anybody because I was just a sort of a fan hanging out. But we were hanging out for an hour or so, and also one of the nicest guys in the world. The only run-in I ever had with Axl Rose was I was standing in front of I think it was in the Whiskey A Go-Go in Hollywood. It was either the Whiskey or the Roxy. I can't remember. But I had just stepped outside for some air, and a limousine went by, and Axl Rose was hanging his head out the window to see if anybody recognized him. That's the only run-in I've ever had with Axl Rose. But anyway, love that band. Can't wait to see him. I'll let you know next week how the show was, but it's going to be fantastic. I know it. All right, let's talk some business, show business. I got a couple of things here. I'm going to be in Florida in October for a bunch of tour dates, and I've got a couple of nights off, and I thought, we should do a live Under the Crossbones recording. That would be fun, yeah? And so sometime between October 23rd and 25th, there's going to be a live Under the Crossbones happening. I'm talking with Scott Pooler from the Pirate Directory, and we're trying to figure out a venue where we can do that at. It's probably going to be in the Tampa area, so if you're around there, cool. If you want to travel in for it, do so. Might be somewhere else if we can't find a place there, but right now we're looking in the Tampa area sometime between October 23rd and 25th. So kind of pencil that in on your calendar, and we will do that. And I'll let you know more as soon as I know more myself. That's all I know right now. And I got a question for you. I want to get just some feedback from you on this if I could. I had an idea the other day for the show, And there are oftentimes people that I would like to interview that I think you would find fascinating. That would be a great talk, but they have no pirate connection. And this is a pirate show, obviously. But I want to find out what you would think of if I were to add in a second interview every so often with somebody non-piratey. For instance, if I had the chance to sit down with Eddie Izzard, the comedian, or Butch Walker, the songwriter, or even like the guy who built 1880 Cowboy Town in South Dakota, which, if you're not familiar, is simultaneously the best and worst tourist trap in America, as far as I'm concerned. If you've never heard of it, go put in 1880 Cowboy Town in Google, and you'll see some amazing stuff. You'll probably run across the blog post that I wrote about it. And but anyway, sometimes I find the interesting people that I go, man, that would be a really great talk. I'd love to talk to them. And but they don't have a pirate. Granted, Eddie Izzard actually does have a pirate connection because he played Long John Silver in a reboot of Treasure Island a few years ago. But I would talk to him about that for about 30 seconds, and then we would talk about comedy because that's what I do. And he's one of my comedy idols. So I want to get some feedback from you. Would that be okay? A pirate interview, and then maybe a second interview that is of non-pirate nature, and of course the comedy music and all that normal stuff. Now, this would not happen every week. This would be a special occasion type thing. The pirate interview will always be there. The additional interview, maybe a once-in-a-while kind of thing, as I run across interesting people that I think would be cool to do that. So give me your feedback. You can either drop by the show notes here, underthecrossbones.com/052. Leave a comment there. You can email me, Phil@underthecrossbones.com, or pop on over to the Facebook page at facebook.com/underthecrossbones. Let me know what you think of that idea, if you would be down for that. And if yes, we'll make it happen. If not, then maybe not. Okay? All right, cool. All right, let's get some tour dates going here. Weird mix of shows this month. Very, very busy. Weird mix of shows. On any of these given shows, I might be doing an hour, might be doing 8 minutes. Yeah, but here's the thing. Even if it's one of the short shows, come out anyway, because I work with really awesome comedians, and the shows are always fun, whether I'm spending an hour on stage. So it's great. All right. So August the 12th, that's this Friday, I will be at the Sports Basement in San Francisco, California. Yep, it's a sporting goods store, but they have a venue in the basement, and it's cool. I think it's free to get in. I think there's even free beer and free pretzels. So you can't beat that, right? And I'll be headlining that show. August the 13th, I will be at one of my regular haunts, Spice Monkey in Oakland, California. August 14th and 20th, I'm doing private events. Got some corporate, got some birthday party, private event kind of stuff. If you got an event where you want a comedian, especially if you're doing a pirate event, you want somebody who knows what's up, right? Hit me up. I travel all over the country. It's all good. We'll make it happen. August 15th and 16th, I will be at the Burbank Comedy Festival, which takes place at Flappers Comedy Club in Burbank, California. August the 17th, which is Wednesday, I'll be popping into the Ice House in Pasadena, California for a set. Love that place. August the 18th, I will be back at the Burbank Festival in Flappers Comedy Club in Burbank, California for one more show. August the 23rd, I will be at O'Malley's Pub in Mountain View, California. August the 25th, Blue Lagoon, Santa Cruz, California, another one of my regular haunts. August the 26th, let me see if I can get this name right, the Lucky Penny Community Performing Arts Center in Napa, California, featuring for the always funny Lori Kilmartin. She's great. If you've never seen her, definitely hit that show. That's going to be a fun one. August 27th, we'll be back at the Spice Monkey in Oakland, California. And then August 29th through September 3rd, I will be at the World Series of Comedy in Las Vegas, Nevada, which is a fantastic event. My first show there will be the 30th, August 30th, which is a Tuesday, 7 p.m. show. And if I do well there, if I'm funny, if you vote for me and the judges like me, then you'll see me later in the week in the later rounds of that competition. It's really great. I was a semifinalist a couple years ago, made the top 8. This year, I'm hoping to make the finals. They bring in over 100 of the best comedians from all over the country. And it's like summer camp for us, but we go up on stage and we bang it out, bringing our best material. And you get to vote on who gets to go on. So it's a really, really cool, fun event. Check it out. So yes, this month, very West Coast centric, but lots of stuff coming up. Washington, Oregon, Florida, Illinois, Wisconsin, all those dates are on the calendar. Go to underthecrossbones.com and click on the tour dates button, and you can find all that stuff and see when I'm coming near you. And if you're if you're listening from one of the other 50 plus countries that I see listeners coming from on this show, let's hook it up in your country too. I like traveling. Yeah, let's do it. Find me a venue. Let's do a house show, whatever you want to do. Let's find a way to do it. I will come tell jokes to you. Come on, check us out on Facebook. Join the conversation at facebook.com/Under the Crossbones. On Twitter, we're at Under Crossbones, no the. And make sure that you are subscribed through iTunes or Stitcher or Google Play or wherever you are. We're supposed to be hopefully on iHeartRadio soon, but they got kind of a backlog of getting all that stuff together. And of course, you can catch all the show notes for this show at underthecrossbones.com/052. Also, go to underthecrossbones.com/support, and there's a little donate box there, a little PayPal box. Dump whatever amount you feel is appropriate in there. $1, $2, $5, $10, $50, $1,000. I do need a new guitar. Remember we talked about that? Anyway, and if you can't, that's cool. Go tell a friend. Tell lots of friends, because that's really what makes this show go around, is telling your friends. There's also an Amazon banner on that page. Click that Amazon banner. Buy yourself something nice. Amazon sends me a little kickback. It costs you absolutely nothing extra to do that. And so that is very nice as well. If you have a product or service that you think a piratey crowd would enjoy, find useful, you can be a sponsor of the show. And that also is very cheap and very easy. Just hit me up and we will make that happen. All right. We ready for some interview action? I think we are. Let's hear my interview with Javier Dominguez of Big Hat Pirates. Enjoy. First of all, you have a company called Big Hat Pirates. Tell us what Big Hat Pirates is all about.
Well, a friend of mine coined that phrase because people were asking us before we started the business, who are those big hat pirates, or who are those people? And she said, you mean the people with the big hats? and people kept calling us Big Hat Pirates. At the very beginning, I wasn't interested in selling or reproducing my work, but you know, the people at the fairs keep seeing us, you know, the people that were running it and in charge, and then they start asking us if we wanted to sell, and we said no for about 3 years. And one day they just came up to us and said, "They're not taking no for an answer. We're not taking no for an answer. You're going to sell next year," and they pushed us into it. And we only were guest artists for 1 weekend, and we fell in love with it. And the next year, we're supposed to be guest artists for 2 weekends, but they wouldn't let us break down our booth, and they kept us for 6. And then they started, signing us up for other fairs to go to, without even us asking. And then a year after that, we became actually, instead of guest artists, we became, vendors. Uh-huh. And every year we've grown tremendously. We've gathered quite a following. Some of the people that follow our work, have 10, 12 hats. My wife ended up having to retire from her job because we couldn't keep up with all the demands that we were getting. We're only doing 4 shows a year, uh-huh. But the sales and the amount of stuff we're selling, we just can't keep up. So she's had to quit her job, and actually she just quit because part of it was because I was recovering from this open heart surgery I just had. Uh-huh. So I was pretty much worthless for 2 months. We actually had to hire some of our friends to come and help sell for us because I couldn't get around. But finally, the recovery is finally getting on track. It's been difficult, but, like I said, the thing we love more than anything else is not the making of the product or not even the selling of the product, but just meeting everybody. A lot of people just come in and tell us, I can't afford your stuff, or I don't want to buy your stuff, but I really like it, and we always cater to all those people. We have a lot of mirrors in our booth. We have people try everything on, and we pose them, and we give them hats, and we give them guns, and we pose them the way that we think they should do it. Because taking a photograph of me or my wife is one thing, but getting dressed up in the garb and actually playing the pirate, now that's a memory. You're just taking a picture of me. Sure. You're building a memory when you do it.
Yeah, that's really great. So I saw your stuff at the recent NorCal Pirate Festival, and I was there's such incredible hats. They're amazing looking, and I was certainly in the camp of people that can't afford them, but they were really fantastic to look at, and I was really impressed with the work. You're primarily working with leather, yeah?
Yes. Well, even that, I kind of fell into that, I've been a woodworker and I've sculpted wood most of my life. I don't know if you know who Sam Malouf is, the famous woodworker, but I was one of his docents in his museum
Oh.
for a couple of years, and I've followed his work all my life. And one day I decided to carve something, and the thing I decided to carve was a sword. And the reason is because I kept seeing these guys with the cow bone handles on their swords, and that would just irritate the hell out of me. And I wanted to put a hand, a human hand, as the handle for a sword, but a human hand is so fragile. So I decided to carve it out of wood, and I carved a human hand out of wood, and then I put a ring on him, and he was, and I was calling it Captain Hook's hand, and the sword came out so great that I need a leather scabbard for it, and so I just went down to the local tanning store, and I bought a cheap piece of leather, and then I tooled it, and I taught myself how to tool, and then I tooled it, and then I took it to the fair, and everybody kept asking me, "That's great. Where'd you get it? And can you make me one?" And next thing you know, I was making stuff for friends, and then a friend of mine, Celia Gross, she asked me to make her a hat, and so I started looking into it, and I started making hats, and everybody kept telling me how great they were, but I didn't realize how great they were until I went to Arizona's fair, and vendors were coming out and asking me where I got the hats. The people actually selling had never seen anything like it, and so I just looked at my wife and I said, "I think we got something going on." So that's how all that happened. I'm self-taught on everything. I do leather work, woodwork. I'm teaching myself how to do metal reprise, which is metal embossing on copper.
Okay.
So we're doing a lot of different stuff. We always try to create more things every year, not to stay stagnant, and try to keep ahead of people that are actually copying us, So when they copy us, that was 3 years ago that I was doing that. I'm doing something else now. So, I try to keep above the curve. And what I've liked this year, especially in Northern California, when we did Vallejo, a lot of people were coming into my booth and saying, "I've never seen such good quality at one of these fairs." They were complimenting us on the quality of work that we did. And I've always told my wife, I don't want anything cheap. I don't want to sell anything from China. I don't want to sell any, reproduced things. I want to be original, and I want to be top notch. Of course, not everybody's going to be able to afford my work, but I just want to, for what you're spending, I want to give you the quality, that you're getting for your money.
Sure.
I don't want to cheap. We don't buy cheap leather. We don't do cheap work. We don't compromise on anything. If it's not good enough, we don't sell it. Just that simple.
I would imagine that the hats you make are probably a better quality than the actual pirates were.
Oh, absolutely. And, we do a lot of themed hats. We probably do about 20 a year. And the reason is they take so much time. There's 15, 20 hours in each hat.
Wow.
That are, these high tooled, high embossed hats. And, we're not doing a lot of them, as many as we sell. We sell, some high quality hats, but they don't have all that embossing and tooling. And I guess we like doing the high end hats because it brings people into the booth. They try them on, take a picture, and they put it back. And we do sell them, but not as many as the other hats we sell.
Yeah, they are really amazing. I two things immediately popped to mind. One is that I think it's great that you let people come in, try them on, and take pictures and things like that. Because a lot of the vendors will be like, no pictures. They just want people to just to buy the stuff. But I think because you let people have a picture like that they're going to remember that hat. They're going to remember the guy who was selling it. And at some point, they will probably come back and buy the hat if that's their thing.
And that's exactly why you do it. I mean, I've talked to other vendors that are telling me that they're not making any money, that they're, they haven't been selling like they were, 5 years ago. And I tell them, you have to make other stuff. You have to, keep with the trends and with the kids. And they tell me, well, those kids don't have any money. I know they don't have any money right now, But next year they'll have money. They'll save their money up and come back next year. And that's where my ideal about this company is. Let's give everybody a chance to become what they want to be. If they want to become a pirate, then fine. Let me help you. And maybe not this year, but definitely next year. I've helped a lot of people out. A lot of kids come in and they have a hat and they don't know where to go with it. It's not one of my hats. And I give them suggestions. Go to thrift stores. Go to the women's section for a guy, because women's clothes tend to be a little more colorful. You could buy some women's pants. You cut them up and you can make some pirate pants out of them. I buy Italian short boots with the square foot toe. I cut them up and I put a buckle on them and I call them pirate. They look like pirate shoes. I'll pick them up for $7-8, and then I got some really cool pirate shoes. You don't have to be at a high end. Some people buy my hats and build a costume around it.
Sure. I
have one hat right now that I just finished, and it's for a guy, and he wanted a peacock on it, and he wanted blue, and then with the end of the peacock coming out and putting real peacock feathers on it. And it's for a guy, so that's what I have made. Everybody's different, and everybody has a different point. Money wise, it doesn't matter where you're at financially. If that's what you want to do, you could get a straw hat, you could turn it into a pirate hat, and you could build on your costume.
That's really great. I can definitely see how somebody would build an entire outfit around one of those hats, because they're so intricate and involved. And you said you're only making 15 or 20 a year, which is really
well, of the high end hats, yes.
Oh, of the high end hats. Okay. What do you roughly turn out per year?
Probably about 120,
okay.
Maybe a little bit more. We do some just not embossed hats, but we use like the faux alligator, which is a very expensive leather, and then and we turn those out, and we play around with our dyes, and sometimes we actually have hats that we just a plain black hat with no trim, with no nothing on it, because a lot of people want to buy a hat like that so they could add on to it, and they could build on the hat. I've sold hats. I've given hats away to the various charities that the fairs run, and I've had people buy them and actually cut up the hat and make it smaller and make it what they wanted. People are all altering my hats all the time and doing fantastic jobs of it.
I like that you're okay with sort of the remix culture of it all, because a lot of artisans, and honestly myself included with some of the stuff that I do, it's like I made that, please don't change it. But I like that you're totally cool with people just taking it and switching it up and doing their own thing with it.
Oh, well, absolutely. It's yours. You have your own vision of what you want it to be. So make it yours. Make it yours. Take the foundation that I built, the good foundation that I built, and build a house on it. That's all it is. And there's some people out there at fair that are purists that look at your shoes and look at your pants and look at whatever you're wearing and saying that that's not historically correct and that's not right and this is wrong and you should do this. I'm at the thing. If it makes you happy, do it.
Do you have any particular favorites of the custom hats that you've done?
Well, at first a lot of the women wanted mermaid hats, mermaids on their hats, and I hated making mermaids. I mean, I just couldn't stand making them. And anytime anybody asked me to make them, I would just cringe. But I've made so many, and those have become some of my favorites because I play with the dyes. I've made a lot of dyes translucent, so you get a variety of different colors and different images if you tilt the hat certain ways. And those have to be my favorites. I've done everything from dragons to skulls to peacocks to just about anything. I could put anything on leather. And nowadays I rarely take custom orders because a lot of times they don't work out for the customer. But when somebody asks me to make a custom order and it's an interesting order, then definitely yes, I will do it. Like this peacock interested me, so I said okay.
Nice.
But I tend not to do too much custom work because a lot of people have an idea of what they want, but they don't verbalize it well enough.
Oh, yeah.
I've never had a problem selling a hat. I made a custom order for a guy in Louisiana. He kept turning it down, and I made 3 hats for him. And 2 of the hats, when I put them out to sell, one of them sold in 20 minutes. So I didn't have a problem selling it. It just, as I've gotten older, I've gotten less tolerant of a lot of things. So, I'm not saying people are wasting my time, but I don't like my time being wasted.
Right.
So.
Yeah, no, I agree. And I saw the, just on your Facebook page this morning when I looked at it, I saw the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle hat, which I thought was interesting.
Yeah, that was one of my wife's idea. Our good friend Catherine is dating a guy who is in charge of 2 of the Teenage Mutant Ninja bands.
Okay.
Bands that go around playing.
Uh-huh.
So she started dating this guy, and he's all into. He has the van. He drives around in the actual van.
Uh-huh.
And he's in charge of a lot of things. They were just in Calabasas right now promoting. He was part of the promotion of Vanilla Ice.
Okay.
So my wife decided to make him the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle hat. But what's funny is she posted it, and then people wanted to buy it. So I always tell her the weird stuff sells. The stuff that is kind of kooky sells.
Uh-huh.
Somebody's going to come up to this guy and tell him, that's not a real pirate hat. You got that. But far more people are going to look at that and go, that is crazy. I like that. So.
And that poor guy is stuck promoting Vanilla Ice, so he needs something to brighten his day.
Yeah.
That's really cool. As somebody, I was the kid in wood shop that mostly broke things. So I always admire people that are really good with wood and leather and things like that with their hands. Were you always good at it? Did that kind of stuff come easily to you?
Well, I've always been mechanically inclined, and that's how I got my job. I'm a forklift mechanic.
Uh-huh.
I work for Cisco Foods, a large food company,
uh-huh.
And I was working in a different area, and the guys in the back that were in the forklift kept watching me work, and they came out and asked me if I would be interested in becoming a mechanic, and I said, I don't know anything about it. And he said, we'll teach you. And, I'm the type of guy, I don't know how to tell you what's wrong with it, but if you show me how to fix it, I could fix it. You could just show me one time and I could do it,
Uh-huh.
But, as a kid, we grew up poor and whatever we wanted, we pretty much had to make ourselves. And that's the way I became, very handsy. And with woodwork, what happened is whenever I wanted a tool, I'd buy it and I'd tear up some lumber. I would just tear things up till I finally learned how to do it correctly. And then I have a whole shop in my basement, 1,300 feet of woodworking tools and
wow.
and metalworking tools and welders and drill presses and all that stuff. And a lot of times what gets me laughing is somebody asked me to borrow a tool, like a router or whatever, and then I lend it to them and they look at me and they go, I don't know how to use it. And then I just look at them and I go, well, this is the way you do it. So I think they want me to do it.
Yeah, right. Yeah. No, I always admire that because I've never been handy in that way. My hands are built for music, and but yeah, I mostly in wood shop injured myself and broke things. That was my job there.
Well, music, I have no timing. I can't dance. I can't sing.
There you go. That's why you make hats and I make songs. We all have our job. Yeah. So where are you going to be in the fall? This episode will probably be out in early mid-August. Where are you guys going to be in the fall where people can come and check out your stuff? We're
going to be in Northern California's Renaissance Festival.
Okay.
And that's in Casa de Fruta, close to Gilroy and Hollister.
Yeah.
And we'll be there for 5 weeks. And the weekend after that, we're doing a pirate beer fest on a golf course in Valencia.
Okay.
Yeah. They have a brewery fest on a golf course, and they sought us out. These people sought us out. They had seen our actually, they had never seen my work in person. They had seen somebody wearing our hats, and then they were going around asking who made these, and it was us. So they sought us out through the Southern California Fair, and the people in charge of that fair, actually introduced us. That's website. Okay, it's www.scvbrewmasters.com.
Okay.
That is, I believe, in October.
Okay, great.
We'll be there. It's October 29th, Valencia Golf Course, Valencia, California.
Cool. Yeah, and I know that the Ren Fair in Casa de Fruta, that's a giant one too, so I'm sure you'll have lots of willing customers there. I'm really glad to hear that the word of mouth has taken off for you, and I think that's really great. Maybe soon you won't have to fix forklifts anymore.
Yeah, well, 2 more years, and then I'm retiring. No more corporate America for me.
Yeah, that's good. I'm also glad to hear that your health is improving after the open heart surgery. I think that's great. So where's the best place for people to find you online?
Well, they could contact us on our website, which is our fan page, which is The Big Hat Pirates on Facebook.
Okay, great. I'll make sure that is linked up on the show notes, and we will be good to go there. So, Javier, I'm glad we got to do this, man. This was a nice, fun talk. I really enjoyed it, and I hope we can talk again soon.
Sure. Yeah, I hope to see you at the Vallejo next year.
I hope so, too.
All right.
Cool, man. Bye-bye.
Okay, bye.
There it is, friends. That is my interview with Javier Dominguez of Big Hat Pirates. You can find him at facebook.com/thebighatpirates. And make sure to go check his stuff out. It's really cool. If you want a Ninja Turtle hat, he's got a Ninja Turtle hat. Somebody ask him for a Mickey Mouse pirate hat. That would be cool. Or Goofy. Like a pirate hat with the big, long, goofy ears on it. Come on. That would be too awesome. Too awesome. Yes. All right. Hey, listen. I don't want you to get taken in by the modern pirates, the identity thieves, those people that call you up on the phone and go, "Hello, we are calling from Microsoft support about your..." No, they're not calling from Microsoft support. They just want to steal your information. And identity theft is like the number 2 crime in the country right now. So you don't want... Here's how you get away from that, all that stuff. So it doesn't happen. You get yourself a LifeLock membership. All right? They're cheap. They're easy. LifeLock goes out to the dark, ugly parts of the web, and they make sure that your information's not sitting out there being sold from one scammer to the next, right? And if they do find something, they'll help you fix it. And that is the part that you're like your credit card company monitoring thing. They don't do that. They don't help you fix it. They just go, it's your fault or it's your problem. And but LifeLock will help you fix it. They send you alerts. I get little alerts all the time. Like even if like a sex offender moves into your neighborhood, they'll send you a little alert so that you can make sure that sex offender's not using your address for some weird reason, right? Because that happens. Anyway, go to LifeLock, right? It's real easy, super cheap. Go to underthecrossbones.com/LifeLock. Get yourself 10% off. Click the little start my membership button, and you get 10% off. You're good to go. Also got an ebook for you, Alexander Exquemelin's Pirates of Panama or Buccaneers of America, whichever way. Pirates of Panama, I think I got those titles right. Anyway, free ebook, seminal piece of pirate writing from the golden age of piracy. Very interesting read. If you like the historical stuff, go to underthecrossbones.com, click on free ebook, fill out the thing. You will get the link free. I've made a nice version of it for you. It's all good. If you're out and about and all you got's your phone, I want you to text the word pirate and your email address to 94253. All right? Just text pirate, the word, and your email address. Your email address, don't type my email address, okay, to 94253, and it will kick back a link so that you can get that free ebook sent straight to your phone. All right, we got comedy, we got music. Yes, we do. Today's comedy is from Danny Minch. And Danny is a very funny dude, very short, pithy, goofy kind of dude. He was the producer of the shows I was putting on in Fresno this weekend. Very nice guy. He put me up at his house. He and his girl, Jen, were fantastic. Their dachshund, Charlie, was fantastic, too. I like staying at people's houses sometimes because you get to pretend you're a dog owner. Because I don't have a dog, and I like dogs. So we're going to hear some comedy from Danny Minch, and then we are going to hear some rockin'. Yeah, I decided to kick up the music a little bit this week. We're going to hear a song by a band called Silvertung that you are absolutely going to dig, and it's heavy. It's heavy, man. All right? So here we go. Comedy from Danny Minch, and some music from Silvertung.
Forge just come out with a new Aerostar. It's got a painting of Starry, Starry Night down the side of it. When people see it, they go, hey, look at that Van Gogh. Thank you, art students in the audience. My Prius came with a GPS voiced by Bono of U2, but it's really hard to use because the streets have no names. I still haven't found what I'm looking for. Ended up running into a Joshua tree. It was a Sunday, bloody Sunday. I love cheese. Yeah. Blue cheese is the saddest of all cheese. Swiss cheese is the most Christian. Brie is the sluttiest of all cheeses. Because it's the easiest to spread. In a world of cheese, the savior would be Jesus Christ. Unless you're Asian, then it would be Gouda. Just went through a divorce after 23 years of marriage. I'm spending $2,600 a month in divorce settlements. That's where I learned it's cheaper to kill her, absolutely. But she's the mother of my 3 beautiful children, so I can't let them find out it was me. My middle boy, he's taken it the hardest in the divorce, but he's super rebellious. Just came home from school. He's wearing those skinny black jeans, wearing all black clothing, dyed his hair black, eye mascara, and glitter all over his face. Looked like he stepped out of that movie Twilight. And I said, son, I hope to God you're a vampire. Because if you're not sucking blood...
Your pride, bleeding at the
And that's our show for today, friends. Hope you dug it. If you want to find out more about Javier Dominguez and Big Hat Pirates, go to facebook.com/thebighatpirates. If you want to hear more from Danny Minch, and I know you do, go to dannyminch.squarespace.com. Danny, spelled normal, Minch, MINCH.squarespace.com. And that song you heard from Silvertung is called Devil's Advocate. Good one, yeah? Yeah, oh yeah. Go check them out at silvertung.com. And they spell tongue, T-U-N-G. Why? Because they're a rock band. Yeah, rock bands and tech companies. They don't have to spell anything the normal way. That's how that works. All right, and if you want to get all the show notes, links, all that kind of good stuff, go to underthecrossbones.com/052. Keep telling your friends about the show. That is super mighty helpful. Leave those iTunes reviews, all that good stuff. Thank you for your support. Very much appreciated. And I will see you next week.